Hello everyone, it's Steve Barrett here, Editorial Director of PR Week, here for another edition of Coffee Break. Delighted to be here with Ben Miller from Common Goal. Ben, you're calling in from Barcelona, and Common Goal is a sort of, tell us what Common Goal is. It's all around soccer. We're still in mourning a little bit from Sunday, us English, aren't we, from the game. I don't know where you watched it, were you in a bar or you were watching it at home?
Well, hi, Stephen, and thanks very much for the invite. I actually watched it at home with my kids, who are multiracial and also, have quite a mishmash of languages and cultural identities. So, trying to explain to them, what I felt about it was actually quite interesting in itself. So, watched it in Barcelona in an area that we live in where not that many people are too concerned about the Spanish national team, let alone the English national team.
That's right.
So it was a bit weird, and actually, probably more seriously, I'm more disappointed by the subsequent reactions on toxic racism on social media and some thugs, rather than the result itself. But hey, good to be here.
I think the social media companies have got to do something about that. They've got to, this having people on anonymously. I think they've got to do something. If you did stuff like that anywhere else, you'd be arrested. So, but anyway, that's a side issue. Tell us a bit about Common Goal. It's a brilliant project, but tell us what it's all about in a nutshell.
Sure. In a nutshell, Common Goal is a collective social impact movement in global football or soccer, in which players, male and female, and also professional coaches lead the movement, embracing a 1% pledge of earnings, which collates into a collective fund that subsequently invests into a network of football-based NGOs working in communities aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. So tackling issues such as access to education, extreme poverty, LGBTQ plus inclusion, gender equality, etc. It started in 2017 with a single player, who's Juan Mata from Manchester United.
Great guy, great player.
Great guy, great player. And was the only one that could really understand the need for collective action and to create this connection between the sport in its industrial form, in its elite form, and the sport which belongs to us all, the sport which is in communities all around the world, and the sport which has over 3 billion supporters. So as a cultural force, has a power that perhaps music can match, but fairly unrivaled power, which hasn't yet been unleashed and put to the use of people and planet. And as we are today, there's over 200 players who have joined, 200 members that have joined the movement. And
now, some of the names that the US viewers will recognize are people like Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager. So it's not just players; it's managers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. When we talk about the number of 200, which is the sort of the recent landmark reached, we're referring to professional players and coaches, but actually there's a wider group which involves people, all kinds of different people, including journalists, including psychiatrists, including sporting directors, including agency owners, even surprisingly, including football agents.
Wow. They're not renowned for giving money away, are they?
They're not, no. But that's probably a different story. But there is a new generation of agents coming. And I think Megan and Alex were the first women to join. So we Common Goal launched.
Starting at the top with those two, aren't you? So
yeah, and was actually the number one female player now, Pernille Harder, who's the world record transfer in terms of value when she moved from Wolfsburg to Chelsea last summer. She actually among the women, 45% of the membership of Common Goal are female, which is fantastic. And if you look at the world of sport or across any other sort of business sectors, you'd be hard matched to find that kind of gender parity. So that's something we're proud of. But yeah, the women have shown real leadership. So among the sort of top 100 women, there's a huge representation in common goal. Whereas in the men, there are very well-known players, Paula Dybala from Juventus, Timo Werner from Chelsea, Serge Gnabry from Bayern Munich, Jurgen Klopp that you mentioned.
But their friend Chiellini, the Italian captain.
Yeah, so while we're a bit sad, Steve, for the result on Sunday, I am genuinely happy for Chiellini, who, as I think I mentioned, he actually. You talk about this world of elite sport where athletes have all these people around them, these gatekeepers taking decisions on their behalf, and I think it depends on the sport a little bit. So, I mean, I know that that the people from, I don't know, for just an example that's popped into my head, like Serena Williams. So we can get onto Angel City in a bit, because they're actually involved in a collective project run by Common Goal, which is the Anti-Racist Project, which we launched back at the end of February. And I think it was the 24th of February, the New York Times actually covered the launch of that. But somebody like Serena Williams from the world of tennis just seems very, very conscious about who she is as a human being, and where she's going to dedicate her energy and her financial her financial resources. And I think in soccer there seems to be a resistance for players traditionally to sort of embrace the human side of who they are, of their identities, but also to be confident enough to actually express them. So I think the people around them have traditionally sort of just focused on performance as it was. So how much you're earning basically, and what you're doing on the field, and nothing else matters. Which I think is a mistake, because life's short. Yeah, and one of the fundamental human rights that we have is to make our own decisions about
and they're
things.
such role models, aren't they, for young people especially? So what they do, and we've seen that with Marcus Rashford and what he's done in the UK. And then when someone like Carl Nassib in the NFL comes out as gay, that is a massive thing to do for him, but also for the LGBTQ community, to have a role model like that who's openly gay and is happy to come out while they're still playing, because that's still a barrier, isn't it? There are not too many soccer players who've done that, if any, and if they do, they usually wait until they've retired.
Yeah, the role that athletes can play in terms of embracing their platform and using that for good, in terms of community, in terms of society, in terms of the environment, is for me, if it's genuine, it's for me a complete no-brainer, because we're now coming up with several proof points, and it's not just us, but it's huge companies like Deloitte. So we were in a conversation with the global chair of Deloitte last week, Sharon Thorne, who spoke to the fact that they now have heaps and heaps of evidence showing that brands who authentically align their strategy to a purpose mission are making more money. They're retaining and they're attracting more talent. And in the case of Deloitte, they've got 330,000 employees. So you can't lie about your purpose or your values, because people within your company actually know what you're up to. So the exciting thing is that we're moving into an era of action. So symbolism.
Tell us about the Adidas deal that you've done recently, because that's a very high profile deal and sounds like an amazing project.
So Adidas and Common Goal have signed a 3-year partnership, which was announced on Friday last week, in which Adidas have pledged, so using Common Goal's 1% model, that they pledge 1% of global sales of footballs for the next 3 years, from now until 2023, which in itself is an amazing landmark for Common Goal, for various reasons. One, in the way in which the deal is structured. In a way, it's a traditional sort of partnership that you see in the sports industry. It's 3 years, and it has different sort of deliverables in terms of, there's a financial aspect, part of which goes to the community network. There's a financial aspect that goes to Common Goal, the organization, because 90% of what Common Goal raises goes directly to charity. So that leaves a 10%, which isn't really sustainable economically. But also that there's a storytelling and a content part of that, which is massive for us. So we can actually start telling these stories about what these incredible athletes are doing and the connection that they have with these community organizations and the individuals that they're empowering.
Tell us where the money goes. What do you do? You get the 1% of the ball sales from Adidas. You get the soccer players giving 1%. Tell us some of the things you're most proud of that money is being used to make change.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, what we're doing. I can give you 2 very specific examples, like from the US. I think the first thing to point out is that Jürgen Griesbeck. So there's 3 founders of Common Goal: Jürgen Griesbeck, Juan Mata, and Thomas Price. And Jürgen, his life's work has been creating social impact through football. So that started 20 years ago. So it was him that created the Street Football World Network, which is a network of high impact football-based NGOs or soccer-based NGOs there's 140 of them at the moment in more than 90 countries, 2.5 million young people taking part every day in the States, in Canada, in Switzerland, all over the world, not just in developing countries. And he's built up this network of high performance NGOs that to join, you need to meet like over 30 criteria. So really they are the best in what they do at creating positive social impacts. You're talking about like a ×7 impact. So the money is invested into these organizations. That I think is important to point out, just because of the quality seal. So this is money that is going to give a very good return on investment. What we've evolved in the last, we're Common Goal turns 4 on August the 4th. We've evolved to embrace specific social themes. So in the Adidas partnership, they're specifically interested in gender equality, anti-racism, which I'm going to get onto now, peace building, and LGBTQ plus inclusion. Anti-racism. So we launched the Anti-Racist Project, like I said, in February this year, run by my American colleague Lily Barrett, who's absolutely amazing, and it's
no
based.
Relation.
No relation. No relation. So all of these people have got together to create and spread out a curriculum, an anti-racist curriculum throughout US soccer, from bottom up, from top down. So we're talking club owners, elite players, managers, directors of sport. And by the end of the year, that would have reached 60,000 people and be in a place where we can subsequently scale that out, adapt it to different markets, and take that internationally.
So Ben, finally, for brands who want to get involved, or agencies on behalf of brands, what should they do? How can they get in touch and find out more?
They can. We're Common Goal is based on being an inclusive movement, a collective movement. We understand that there can be no meaningful change. Football cannot reach the potential that it has in terms of being an active player, shaping people and planet, unless there's true collaboration. So I'd urge anyone to just get in touch with us, either get in touch with me or get in touch with us. We're in all the usual places, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, etc. And we'd love to hear from you and see how Common Goal can actually become a solution to a lot of brands and institutions within sport are looking to move to this purpose-led model, and they need partners to do it. So happy to connect with anyone and talk through the possibilities.
We wish you well with it, and thanks for joining us. And we wish you great luck with this brilliant initiative. And it's good to see soccer giving back. So Thank you, Ben, for joining us on Coffee Break.
Well, thanks a lot. And as a Man United fan, maybe you can join as well. So help us on this journey to 100 million lives by 2030.
Absolutely. And it's good enough for Juan Malo, it's good enough for me.
That's